you have, so you can be able to, get, the appropriate energy for the day. Though it's Friday, it's the weekend. I mean, not like Monday where you need the whole energy to start the week. I mean, the working day. All right. You're welcome to Still the Morning Express on Melon 98.3 FM. The last edition this morning, Trends in the Papers, where we go through and peruse the pages of dailies and newspapers and see what's happening. Actually, new stories springing up, developing stories, be it political, be it health, be it education, be it social, be it whatever it is, metro and all of that. We're ready to make your morning a better one while we keep you updated and abreast of happenings this morning. Of course, quite a number of things happening from the biggest news for every Nigerian now, which is the president signing the tax reform bill into law just after 2 years of deliberation, of sitting, meetings, debate, and all of that. And then yesterday we had the president signing the four major tax reform bills into law, and this is going to be greeted with several adjustments, which we'll still be talking about. We also saw the meeting between the president and Fubara, that's Rivers State, Brohaha, Tinubu, and Wike, and the reps in Rivers State and all of that. And so a couple of things actually happening in the country, which will bring to the fore, and we give perspective holistically looking at them this morning as we look into the papers. So you're welcome to Trends in the Papers. My name is Msoɪᴜ Fᴏᴜᴜ, and of course Trends in the Papers will be joined by Said Fawad. Will be giving us a perspective update. I mean, you were giving us perspectives to the issues and the stories that we're bringing on board this morning, as always, actually, and just giving us more side to the stories we have in our dailies this morning. You can join us live on Facebook and YouTube. Always, we're streaming live presently on Facebook and YouTube, so you can, as much as possible, enjoy an audio-visual experience this morning. You want to see what's going on, you want to see how it's going on in the studio, you can do well to join us on Facebook and YouTube at Mela 98.3 FM. Go to Facebook, or rather you prefer YouTube, you can do that as well. And as much as it's quite easy wherever you are to listen to us, you can also listen via our website, www.mainlandfm.com. So welcome once again. My name is Msoɪᴜ Fᴏᴜᴜ once again, and in case you are listening for the first time, you're welcome to the family. And as much as we always get pleasure.
Good morning, Lady Mo. How are you doing?
Doing very well. TGIF, is it raining there?
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
The clouds are a bit heavy, so might still rain, but not for now.
Okay, not for now. Anyways, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so without further ado, let's just kickstart. We start with the Punch newspaper, as we just have quite a number of them on the front page of the Punch newspaper. As always, the larger chunk of the Punch is dedicated to commissioning of the ongoing project, or ongoing commissioning of major projects in the FCT. So, Wike, at it again. On the
that will end one day.
It's like one of its kind. I don't think I don't know. It's like
it's good for the media, at least for TV and the print, who make a lot of money, who have been making good money from this. So I'm just saying that, look, as much as we think good for our people in the print and broadcast media, the TV, it's just important to note that these are not personal funds, and probably easy to spend money like this.
Definitely, Saif. I wish I owned the Punch newspaper and some media outfit that we have this news at this time. But anyway,
look at the way they also do. God knows how much they pay for all this TV coverage, live TV coverage.
Right. Questions. Said Fawad, even some questions, like we always, a conversation we always put out there, that democracy is not about basically, well, yes, infrastructure, I mean, basic amenities and all of that. I think these things like this should be like the norm. I mean, what
have been done with the people's money. So you deploy the people's money to do infrastructure for the people, and then you go there, you know, do all manner of merrymaking, waste a lot of public funds again. You know, like yesterday they said it was about commissioning of a bus terminal, and then I'm like, what's the big deal with bus terminal? Road constructions in quote and unquote saying that clients happen almost on a daily basis. Expansion of roads, you know, I remember that was already constructed, was just there, wasn't really being used. And they said, look, those roads were constructed as projections for, you know, much higher population in the future. So, like, I think it was around 2000, I think it was just about 5 years ago, I must say. So, they already been constructing roads that future population will use.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And those ones were just there. You know, so the only thing you see them, for example, that they call the rest of the world to come and celebrate with them is when they have vision for a particular year. So sometimes you say, oh, Dubai 2020, Dubai 2030. So what they do is to show the new things they've been able to achieve for the city in terms of infrastructure, in terms of technology, in terms of vision. Well, in such a city will not do a 10-kilometer road and then they will now call Paso. Why?
Well, anyways, today now is not bus terminal. It's a road, commissioning of Kabusa-Keti Road in the FCT today.
Kabusa-Keti Road.
Definitely. Okay, still with the Punch newspaper. Of course, the big news for every Nigerian is the signing of the tax reform bill, the four major tax reform bills signed by President yesterday. And of course, there are several angles to that this morning. So we'll be looking at the several angles to the outcome. I mean, what we are going to be expecting. Right. Let me start from across board. Actually, was reported this morning, but let me start from the perspective of the Guardian newspaper, trying to look for that. Okay. From the Guardian newspaper, Adedeji Oyedele explained Tinubu's tax reform, says essential goods now VAT-free. The chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Dr. Zach Adedeji, and chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, Taiwo Oyedele, on Thursday, that's yesterday, commended President Bola Tinubu's bold leadership in signing into law four historic tax reform bills, setting the stage for a complete overhaul of Nigeria's fiscal architecture. And then the four bills, the Nigeria Tax Reform Bill, the Nigeria Tax Administration Bill, the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill, we're definitely signing. That's next year, January 1, 2026, to be precise, giving stakeholders a 6-month transition period to prepare. And the effective date for the implementation has been set for January next year. And so, let me just quickly give some essence of VAT rate at 7.5%, as a proposal to increase it were definitely rejected by the Senate, and also a new VAT revenue sharing formula, including with 50% distributed equally among states, 20% based on population, and 30% by consumption. And also, quickly, from the bill, pardon me, please, just trying to gather that together. Income tax rate from 30% to 25%, and harmonization of earned taxes at a reduced rate. We have unilateral tax credit for income earned abroad to avoid double taxation, and input VAT credit on assets and services to reduce cost of production, and many more. Benefits for small businesses to increase in tax exemption threshold for small businesses from annual turnover of withholding tax reduction on business income of small businesses, and exemption from the requirement to deduct an account for tax on payment to vendors, and also benefits for more of that because of our time. Benefits for homes and individuals, complete exemption of low income earners up to 1 million naira per annum, about naira or less, also 0% VAT on food, healthcare. That's essential. I think that's the angle the Punch newspaper captured this morning. The Guardian newspaper. From the Punch newspaper, the angle they captured this morning was the fact that the federal revenue agencies, they will have a shake-up in the federal revenue agencies as a new agency has been set up to get the revenue. So instead of the Nigeria Customs Service, the Nigeria of the new body to get the charges forward.
Well, finally, what you can call the highlight of the key areas of the reform tax registration. The devil is in the detail, meaning more. So we are going to see, because it's not just about what has been proposed or in the law. It's about how we are able to effectively implement some of these reforms. Yes, it's said that low price reduction. It's also good that it's been highlighted that low income earners, poor Nigerians may be exempted. The tax exemption part of it also looks very good. The harmonization of the entire revenue generating structure or system of the country also looks a bit good, so we can probably have a more harmonized tax system. And that's what will now bring about the Nigerian Revenue Service, which means other revenue generating agencies, ministries, and parastatals will hand over their responsibility to the NRS. So the VAT sharing formula, that was like the bone of contention, I think it has all now been resolved. You've highlighted sharing formula. But the issue is effective implementation, Lady.
Right.
We can have, we are not always short of ideas and laws and proposals. We always have the idea. Our reforms are always good in the books, but when we get to the state of implementation, we falter completely. Some of us are also hoping that this will not also bring about what you can call, the twisting of the system and begin to act on behalf of the NRS. And the issue of consultants helping the NRS to collect taxes and do a manner of things, I think will be understood by people who are listening to me this morning, who can have some very critical mind about what I'm trying to say. They now say, the consultants will be helping to do it, and they'll be moving a particular. This would, help us to have a more robust, more effective tax system, and hopefully, if properly implemented, we could begin to see some meaningful effect on the living standards of the people. Yesterday, it was a sad reality for us to reveal the story that Nigeria is ranked among some of the poorest nations of the world, despite being the largest economy in Africa. So let's hope that this will bring some good turnaround for Nigeria. What has been so much desired in this so-called reforms is almost like an idea and the baby of the president. This was an executive bill. So let's see how the implementation will be done.
Well, that's really a big expectation. Like an analyst will say that the perfect Nigeria is on paper. And then the issue there is how well you can effect what is on the paper. That we definitely have laudable policies, good policies, ideas on paper. But the bulk of the main issue is how well we can carry out those ideas and carry out those policies.
And it begin to bring a manner of things that we just mess the entire thing up. But let's just keep hope alive on this one and see what will come out of it eventually. 6 months timeline for a proper implementation
of being on this tax reform bill and then not see it effect, so to say, the way it should be. So I think all stakeholders.
Do you know how many bills have been signed into law that even state longer?
That from the Punch. The Guardian also has that very story this morning. Away from that, quickly, let's move to the oil sector. The Punch is also capturing that Senate fumes as NNPCL shuns 210 trillion naira audit probe, and you ask why. Then sees amounting to over 210 trillion naira in its audited report from 2017 to 2023. And despite being summoned, no officials or external auditors actually from NNPCL showed up. However, representatives from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, as the EFCC, ICPC, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, and Department of State Service, that's the DSS, were present. But in response to the NNPCL's absence, the committee issued a 10-day ultimatum demanding the company's top executives to appear before the panel by July 10, or they will face constitutional the session. And then, not far-fetched, when you get a question of their absence, why the absence, or why are you, running away from giving reports? It made me, of course, we just had the recent report of an ex-boss, NNPC boss, being arrested over $7.2 billion. And then we don't want that anymore while the oil sector is not thriving. Tied for it.
You see, this our NNPCL. I really don't know what is the hell about anyways. But since he said it's supposed to run as a limited liability company. See, it's one organization. No respect for constituted authority, even though those ones don't respect themselves. So nobody respects them. So that's why a whole Nigerian Senate, the committee that is charged with oversight on this particular matter, will invite them. Look, we might have questions about the character, the behavior of the people in the Senate. But our senators, so if the Senate, for any reason, has invited, I will tell you the reason they gave was in the story.
Yeah, they said, yes, they said
2 months. 2 months. They said currently the board and management team are on a retreat. Now, you know all this retreat, all called retreat. And it is on that basis that, and what are they inviting them for? It's on an audited report, their own report, discrepancies in their audited report of the operations between after they finish their retreat. To be able to now put documents together to come and answer questions on discrepancies in their audited report for just 3 years.
They're trying to gather the...
What are they gathering? Well, it's an audited report. You already have the report. It's just for you to come and answer questions. Why this figure and this figure, they are not marks from the auditors, So it's just to go and answer some of the questions that have been raised from the report. They say, no, we didn't retreat. The people that are supposed to start serious investigation were there. Top executives, top leaders of the NNPC, showing disdain and disrespect to National Assembly. Several times that he has gone before committees without even taking any document. He will go there and tell them that, I didn't come, I will come next time. Because I don't know why they really don't want to respect these people. I suspect that in between there must have been situations where these guys too may not have respected themselves. When committee guys who are supposed to do oversight, they will not be the ones to go and visit them in the office, say they are an oversight, and when they are leaving, they'll go with some manner of things. So they don't respect them. Should be committing so nobody respects anybody. And then when you go there, you're also going there to go and bargain. And so the guys think that all this noise is just so they also want some part of whatever we have. But we still have to say that it is condemnable completely to have a situation like this. What retreat are they doing? What is even more important than them going there to go and answer questions about how some of these public monies have been misused, misappropriated? Up till now, there's a lot of back and forth about who has been arrested, who has not been arrested. Right. We sunk about $3 billion to fix 3 of our refineries. There's nothing to show as we speak. And we're still faffing around looking at people living larger than life, becoming too big than our institutions. I think the Senate should begin to also get people arrested. When they invite them and they don't come. They are in a retreat. What nonsense retreat are they doing? That is even more important than what they are in a retreat. And they did that 2 months.
Some have even questioned the efforts of the new CEO, that's Bayo Julari, on making sure, because
I think the Senate committee is saying that he should lead the team. He himself.
Yes, you do. Yes, that's that must personally lead the delegation at the next hearing. And people have questioned even his efforts so far. He's a new. It should be a new face.
I've not seen anything, but I want to cut him some slack. Let's say it, but he did still settling in. I think he was not from within the structure.
Exactly.
So maybe he's still trying to check. I know what it means to bring somebody from outside. So I will still cut him some slack and hope that he's still trying to find his footing. There will be a lot of internal sabotage. That kind of thing.
Right. Obviously.
But he has to lead. It's an audited report, so he should get briefings from his finance directors already. And when he gets to the committee briefing, he might not be the one talking. He might allow, but he should lead them as the leader of the place.
I mean, the mind-boggling.
About 230 something what?
The Senate even had earlier flagged 103 trillion naira in accrued expenses, including 600 billion naira in retention fees, legal and auditing costs without, supporting documentation, and had questioned another 103 trillion naira listed under receivables. And just before the hearing, the NNPC had submitted a revised.
And they should please ask them too. It's not an audited thing. They should tell them. They should please tell us how we sunk about $3 billion to reviving refineries. And today, none of those refineries is working out. They should tell us. It should be back.
Yeah, I don't know. What's the president? What is he doing about this?
That's a question I don't have answers to. Well, let's do for another.
Okay. Away from that, still in the oil sector, we have a report here saying Nigeria exports 82% of crude as local refineries starve. Like the reaction should be like, wow. We're talking about shortages. Amid cries of crude shortage by local refineries in Nigeria, the country exported 82% of its crude oil in the first quarter of 2025, according to reports. And according to a report published by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, only 18% of the crude is in the world, with 650,000 barrels per day nameplate capacity. And the federal government owns, as the refinery Port Harcourt were, which we are getting, the Nigeria export 82% of crude, while we ask anymore.
Well, you see, it's a very simple thing. I think this story also aligns with a particular report I think we got on Monday on the situation of what they are saying is that, look, we are able to do consistently about 1.57. By something percent of that is exported out of the country. So leaving just about 18% left for domestic. A larger chunk of Dangote refineries crude oil is gotten from outside of the 1,000 per day. While we take the rest out of the country. Dangote, for example, half of what we do daily, which they are not even able to the exact figure is able to get from the 200 and something that is retained for local use. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Meanwhile, the 3 government-owned refineries, we call them 4. 2 because 2 are in Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna. The total capacity, refining capacity, is about 445,000 barrels per day. So if you add that,
yes.
So if we take other modular refineries, because there are some other modular refineries,
yes,
you put them together, you see that, look, we are far is working. Warri is working. Dangote is working. Kaduna is working another oil production. So, see, we are like, a very big nation in terms of what we are supposed to be doing. For ourselves, about 2 million barrels per day. And if you look at the PIA, the law is that, look, no matter the thing itself flouting the law, if we are not retaining that much, remember again that lots of monies we already collected. So it's all really very untidy, really looking very patchy. And that's why Dangote, for example, I think already has a plan to continue to look for crude from anywhere in the world, so that he can continue to run his refinery. You can see the proactive nature of his business. It's also ensuring that, look, when it comes to moving of his products to where they are needed, he's not going to be waiting for anybody that will one day go on strike and shut down his business. Already putting trucks in place to be able to do that. Where we are supposed to get to the refinery, that the military team, management team told us was already working. You got the news recently that their PRO has resigned. Their spokesperson, Fᴜᴜ. So it's to tell you that, look, that place needs a lot of cleansing.
Overhaul.
There's a complete rot in the NNPC. Who is going to help us bail the cat is what we are waiting for. Who is going to bail the cat for us? That place is a rot, a complete mess.
Well, that also in the Punch newspaper. Quickly, before we move ahead away from the Punch newspaper, we also have the still ongoing crisis in the PDP. Well, the Punch is reporting that the PDP Board of Trustees defies INEC and backs Makinde block for the NEC meeting. That's the NEC meeting that the Board of Trustees, that's VOT and ex-official forum of the PDP, have rejected recent actions taken by the party's acting national chairman, Umar Damago, insisting that the National Executive Committee meeting as acting national secretary amid claims that Senator Sᴏᴜ remains the substantive secretary. And in separate statements, the BOT chairman, Senator Adolfo Yazan, respectively described Damago's efforts to cancel the NEC meeting and reinstate Anya was unconstitutional and contrary to the collective will of the party. Fuad.
Yeah, go on. The crisis.
Because I mean, you spoke about it at length yesterday. Also about development.
It's just that they keep making the news. If you look at me, and I've said it every day, I'm tired of talking about the PDP crisis. Because that's a self-induced crisis that may never end, if you understand what I'm saying. Because as we speak, the battle man laying claim to the secretaryship of the party has also gone to court. And I'm surprised. Are you with me, Lady Mo?
Yes, I am.
And I'm surprised that after the Supreme Court ruling, that no court should entertain crisis of leadership within a political party. The High Court in Abuja has also accepted to sit on the same matter that has now been taken to court again by Anyanwu. I think they set a September 3rd date to listen to hear from the party. You understand what I'm saying? So again, the same case now has gone back to court. You see? Because Anyanwu has gone to court again.
Right.
In fact, he was looking for an ex parte order to stop Umar Damagum and INEC from stopping INEC from receiving any correspondence from the PDP that is not signed by him as the secretary. So they have also gone to court again. Now you have the Makinde block and the Wike block still struggling it out. Like I said, it's a self-induced crisis.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, I'll try and disconnect and then reconnect back. I think the network right there went off. And of course, we've talked about the tax reform bill, which was signed into law by the president yesterday, talked about the oil sector, and we are now at the opposition party, the PDP. Fuad, can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm with you.
I tried to disconnect because the line was breaking.
So the line was breaking.
Yes,
so sorry.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
So the crisis continues. I don't think these guys are ready to really resolve this crisis. The intention is to keep the party in party. You know, as we approach the 2027 election, there are people who are marking time, basically. You know, but it's self-induced. There's Koshuodo, Setoji Koshuodo, remain the national secretary of the party. So that has divided the party now into two, camps: the Wike camp and the Makinde camp. I never knew that one day the G5 people will fight themselves. It might just be for the optics or for distraction. It might not be a real fight. But if it is true that they are no longer together, then it will be surprising to know that suddenly their personal interests no longer aligned. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, we'll see how it goes, definitely. Page 2 captures that from The Punch. The Guardian also has that very story. Page 6, to be precise, on the NNPCL, the closed-door meeting, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu The suspended Fᴜʟᴜ, yes, yesterday held a closed-door meeting with key political actors from Rivers State in a move to resolve the prolonged crisis rocking the state. It was held at the presidential villa, bringing together the suspended Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, Minister of the FC. We all know what is going on in Rivers State. Not to mention again what is going on in Rivers State. Side for what do you? Eh? What's that? What's that?
You don't know. By now you should
reconciliation.
What do you have not heard in the what it means?
It actually sounds like incantation.
Agreement is agreement. Agreement is agreement. So you don't know about which is band?
Yendemba.
You know that. You know that the mo. That's
your legs.
That's the slogan. Agreement is agreement. Abi? And what do you think they agree on?
You tell me.
Lady Mo. Maybe Fubara already told you before. Now all these fights, they are fighting me. He told you what it was all about. I haven't forgotten.
I forgotten. No, now.
He said it's about the resources of River State, the resources of the people.
So it's the agreement about the fact that we want to hand it over to the person that has been fighting me because of
I don't know. We don't know what the agreement is. It's just what I'm saying. It's about we tying the things together. Agreement is agreement. And if Fubara had told us before that this fight is about the control of the resources of the state. So if they are suddenly all aligned and everything looks good, the meeting all went well, even though we don't have the details, they behave themselves. Whatever we agree, we agree. Don't go and be changing things. And so it's all good. Thank God that the skies have been resolved and we hopefully see the return of Fubara. And so then the Yendeba continue. See, that's what we like to do as smart politicking. But like we've always said, that does not change the fact that it was a gross abuse of power. It was a desecration of the rules of law and the principles that strengthens what is supposed to be a democratic institution. President. And we'll see how it all ends. So, good luck to the people of Rivers State. It's Yendeba for everybody here.
Well, as Yendeba just made the priority list is a failure. Well, all is well.
You think Yendeba is about the people?
Yendeba. Side forward.
You think agreement is agreement? It's about the people of Rivers State. It's about the political class.
Right.
It's about a godfather who wants to still be in charge after his 8 years as governor. He said he bought funds for everybody. He politically invested in them. They cannot take his political structure away from him because that's the kind of politics we say we play in our very wobbled so-called democracy. So it's not about the people. The man who they were fighting told you about the resources of the state. What more do you want to hear?
Well, just pulling your legs anyway.
I let no day for pulling. Don't carry
my all is well in Rivers State. The Guardian.
God bless the people of Rivers State.
God bless Nigeria. INEC.
And God bless Lagos State too, because we are here.
Amen. And God bless every state. The Guardian newspaper also captured INEC to conduct by-elections and resume voter registration in August. Now, the INEC has scheduled by-elections for Saturday, August 16, 2025, to fill vacant seats in the national and state assemblies across 16 constituencies in 12 states. They announced the resumption of the continuous voter registration, that's the CVR nationwide, with online pre-registration, which is set on Monday, that's August 18, while in-person registration will commence on Monday, August 25, 2025. According to the chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, disclosing this during the second quarterly consultative meeting with political party leaders at the commission's headquarters in Abuja. Did you have any reaction to that, Saifa?
No. I think for people who may not have registered, for their PVC. So I think it's going to start in August. So it's important for people who have been asking when the voter registration would commence. So INEC has given the date. So let's just get that out as public information. And for the by-elections in the states that are affected, I think that those states have been listed at the constituency. I think a lot of these by-elections are happening as a result of the death of some of these, honorable members. If you understand what I'm saying. So So it's just, I think it's just maybe pay for public information for people to know that these things will be happening, these elections will happen, and the voter registration will commence again. In August. It's supposed to be a continuous thing, but we don't know why they always pause. But it's good that they are starting it early enough ahead of the elections.
Right. Right. Away from that, also from The Guardian quickly, Afenifere is telling Tinubu that he should use a bill for the immediate restructuring of the country and creation of state police to the National Assembly. Actually, this not a new one. It's just like they're reiterating what they've been clamoring. Yes, they've been clamoring for all this while. Restructuring, also into that.
Well, the problem is it will not just be about the powers of the president. To require the entire commitment of the political class for us to have a complete restructuring of Nigeria, a proper restructuring of Nigeria. So yes, the president can take the lead. He has some very good relationship with National Assembly, but it's not just about what the president has as his power too. It also has to involve the entire political class, even at the subnational level. Look at where we are, Lady-Mo, for example. In about a month now, it will be 1 year exactly that the Supreme Court judgment came on local government autonomy. Do you know that up to now we have not been able to implement that law, that ruling?
No resolution has been made. Back and forth.
Yes, it was a ruling. It was supposed to be a ruling and comes to automatic.
Yes.
Almost 1 year now, that ruling is still there hanging. And that's supposed to be part of the process of restructuring, where we can begin to guarantee real autonomy, some form of autonomy, maybe not complete autonomy, for the local government, and financial autonomy. But almost 1 year down the line, we have not been able to implement that judgment, effect that judgment. So how do we now talk about state police? How do we talk about resource control? Are you with me, Lady Mo?
When the ones that are already signed into law are not being implemented?
Well, the one that has a backing of the highest court in the land is still not implemented almost 1 year down the line.
Well,
so it's about the commitment of the entire political class. The president can take the lead, I agree, because of his influence and capacity within the political space. But it's not going to be just about him alone. Will the political establishment, even at the subnational level, be committed to such restructuring? That's the question, because they still don't want to hand up the local government fund. And so they've been throwing all manner of things into the process of implementation.
Of course, governors that we saw in reports that they are negotiating with local government, chairmen.
Some of them are even making their own laws
50-50
at the state level, So.
Well, just quick source of illegal arms in Benue State. That's General Christopher Musa ordering immediate arrest of anyone in possession of illegal arms in Benue State. And he also warned that anyone who attacks security personnel with such illegal arms would be neutralized. We've also talked about, yes, that, and also, proliferation of firearms and all of that. The Guardian also in that line of security, that Marwa links 90% of terrorism and violent crimes to drug use.
See, the order by the CDS is very good. That this is the time to want to arrest anybody, with illegal firearms, no matter the intention. Because you might have people who have decided, the aggressors, who also have decided to get some of these things to protect themselves, since it's looking as if the security operatives cannot do their job effectively. So if they decide, are you with me, Lady Mo?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. If they decide now that, look, everybody with any kind of firearm, and they are able to really mop it up and take it away from people and arrest them, we should also beg the CDA. He is able to bring a firearm from outside the state to go and attack people. You understand? You are taking illegal firearm. It's illegal because they are not supposed to have it from people in the state. Oh, beautiful, fantastic. But they should also guarantee and ensure that people don't bring the same illegal firearm from outside Benue to go and attack the people of Benue.
Right.
Sure, you
understand? I do. Side fact. Yeah.
Because the people that are coming to attack them may not necessarily. I doubt if there are people who reside in Benue State. And the only reason why they come attack communities and leave without any consequences is because they know there's no balance of power.
Right.
So if we are still now mopping up what is considered as illegal firearm from those states, I completely agree to keep the state safe. But they should also protect the state from any attack from people who are not going to come in with illegal firearms too.
Right. Well, side forward, we need to step aside for commercial. Thank you very much for your time. Really
Thank you,
appreciate it. Thank you. We'll be back for Mail and Focus. Stay with us.